As a college student, Tom had a bad habit of procrastinating. He would put off assignments until the last minute and often found himself scrambling to finish them in a panic. Despite his poor time management skills, he managed to get by with average grades. One day, Tom was assigned a research paper that was due the next day. He had known about the assignment for weeks, but, as usual, he had put it off until the last minute. Now, with only hours to go before the deadline, Tom sat at his desk with a blank page staring back at him. Tom's roommates were out for the night, leaving him alone with his thoughts and his anxiety. He knew he had to start writing, but he couldn't seem to get his brain to focus. He tried to think of topics, but nothing seemed to stick. The clock was ticking, and he felt the weight of the deadline bearing down on him. As midnight approached, Tom felt his desperation growing. He started to doubt whether he would even be able to pass the class, let alone get a good grade on the paper. Just as he was about to give up, a wave of determination washed over him. Tom put his head down and began to type. He didn't stop to check his work or to worry about grammar and spelling. He just let the words flow from his fingertips. As he typed, he felt his confidence growing. He realized that he had more knowledge on the topic than he had given himself credit for. Hours passed, and the sun began to rise. Tom's eyes were red and his fingers were sore, but he had finally finished the paper. He didn't have time to read it over, but he felt proud of himself for putting in the effort. He hit the submit button and let out a sigh of relief. The next day, Tom walked into class feeling a sense of dread. He assumed he would receive a failing grade or, at best, a mediocre one. As the professor handed back the papers, Tom couldn't believe his eyes. He had received an A. He couldn't believe it. He had pulled off a last-minute miracle. Tom walked out of class feeling like he had conquered the world. He knew he had to stop procrastinating, but for now, he was just happy to have proved to himself that he could succeed. He went home that night with a newfound motivation to stay on top of his work and to never underestimate his own abilities again.